Today I'm making some flower coasters, some blooms. And I've made these on my channel in, I think, the pink and yellow version. So today I'm doing the turquoise and yellow version. So these will look kind of green after the colors blend. I'm using these geode, these geode molds from Resin. You can get these on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. I'll put a link for everything. For my colors today, I'm using the Liquitex Acrylic Ink. This is not alcohol ink, acrylic ink in Turquoise Deep. I have the Mixels tint in yellow number 7. And then this is a white pigment paste. This actually comes from a site in Russia. I don't know if you can get it anymore, but you can really use any white pigment paste. Mixels white works really well. That's my other go-to for this kind of design. And then I have some glass. This is just some crushed glass. So I have mixed up 12 ounces total. I have 7 ounces in this cup and then 5 ounces divided up here. It's approximately 2.5 and about 1.5, well, maybe 1 1/4 and a little more than 1. There's most in this cup, then next in this, and then this is the least. This is more than 1 though. This is probably, I don't know, a little more than 1. All right, so let's put the colors in. Start with the acrylic ink. I'm gonna do 8 drops. So I'm trying to keep the colors here transparent. I don't want them to go solid. So that's why I'm using the acrylic ink. That's very much like alcohol ink. The colors stay transparent like an alcohol ink does when you mix it in. But I think the colors are richer. You don't need as much ink and they don't fade. Whereas a lot of the alcohol inks will fade over time or fade if they get exposed to UV. Acrylic ink doesn't fade. So it's kind of my go-to when I want a nice transparent rich color. See how pretty that is? It's just beautiful turquoise. This is probably my favorite one of all the Liquitex colors. All right, and then the Mixels. So some of the Mixels are transparent if you don't put too much in. This is one of those. I'm just gonna I'll start with 3 drops and see what we get. But the Mixels, I found I have to test them out because some of them are very opaque. The white and the black, for example, are quite opaque. But then some of the other ones, they retain a little bit of transparency. So, all right, that looks like a good amount. All right, so there we go. You can see through the stick, but the color is definitely there. All right, and then this white, I don't need very much of this. This one, I just kind of stir it up. And like I said, you could use any white pigment paste for this part. And this one doesn't take much. Whatever white pigment paste you use, you just want to make sure that it's opaque. That's really all that you need with this part. And since I dipped my stick in, I'm gonna scrape it off. Make sure all that paste gets in there. Okay, so see how nice and opaque that is? You can't see the brown stick through it. So that's what you need to go for when you're using a white for this, this project. Okay, let me just move these guys out of my way. All right, so I'm going to start with the teal. Just gonna pour that around the outside edge. And I have more teal than yellow because this is going around the outside edge, which is a bigger circle. And the yellow, I pour the yellow next, but it's inside of the teal. So you don't need as much. All right, so next I'm gonna pour the yellow. And this just goes right inside of the teal. And these colors are gonna blend really, really cool. It creates a real pretty green. All right, and now the clear. And I'm going to take my little dotting tool, and there's some bubbles that are stuck down onto the silicone. I'm just going to real gently lift those up. Just don't want any bubbles on the surface of these coasters. Okay, and now I'm going to take the same tool and I'm just going to go around the edge of the mold. And this will release any bubbles that are stuck down in that, on that edge. When you use your heat gun with this kind of design, try not to blow the colors around. All right, now I'm going to put the glass in. Nope, I think I have the wrong one. This is the one I'm using. All right, I'm gonna use my dotting tool again and just spread these out. This is just gonna help them sink and get rid of any air bubbles that might be trapped under them. All right, now for the white. So you can put this into a piping bag if that's easier for you. I like to use the little cup. If you're gonna use a cup, it's easier to do if it's about halfway full or less. If it's too full, it's really hard to control. And you want a cup that you can pinch. So I'm just gonna pinch to a little, like a little spout there. Oops, I just see a piece of glass that is still floating. Gonna get that guy down there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in, just making a little petal design. And then I do some smaller petals in the middle. And this is the reason I put the glass down first, because I want that to be on top of the petals once I flip this over. All right, and I do have a little bit of white left, so I'm just going to add it to the center on some of these that aren't quite as full. Let's give it a quick torch. And I'm going to go around the edge one more time, just to make sure I get all those edge bubbles. All right, and now I'm just gonna very quickly torch again, and I'm gonna torch the edges that I just did, because the bubbles are coming up to the surface, and you don't want them on the edge on the bottom of the coaster either. All right, so these are going to cure overnight, and I can't wait to flip them over. It's the most rewarding thing, this design. I absolutely love it. So I will see you in the morning after these are cured. All right, it's been 24 hours. We're all cured. So let's flip them over. I love the backs of these too. Sometimes I'm tempted to use the backs as the front. I think the backs look pretty cool. Look at nice edge. I don't see any bubbles. All right, flipping it over. So pretty. Let me put this on the bottom. I just love how that white just makes such a pretty texture in there. These aren't going to require too much sanding because the edges are really nice. Sometimes I'll get a bubble here and there on the edge. These turned out really nice. All right. Really pretty. And it's really cool how the back, you can still see some of the teal. When you flip it over, the teal it's in the center, so it's more green. Colors just blend so cool. All right, let me bring you in for a close-up. It's kind of hard with the glare. They're just so dimensional. So cool. All right, well, there you go. If you guys found this tutorial useful, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell. That way you'll get notified every time I post a new video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.